What's going on, you guys? I want to talk to you today about Jacen Syndulla and why does he appear human? So there's actually been a lot of talk about this. There's been some tweets from Pablo Hidalgo saying, oh, well, you know, genes can do crazy things with the Force or whatever. But I'm not sure if that's good enough. So I actually broke down a couple of things and looked at a couple of things. And a lot of people have been saying, well, where do they have time to do all this? And, well, if you've been paying attention, there's been lots of times, especially with, you know, Kanan being not in his room, and Ezra goes into his room in the middle of the night to look for the Sith holocron and all of this stuff. So there's plenty of opportunity there, but still, it begs the question, why does he appear human? So, spoilers for Rebels finale. If you haven't already seen it, it's been out for a while though, so you probably should have seen it by now. But this isn't really much of a spoiler because this is more of an Easter egg because it's something very, very tiny at the very end of the entire episode. So, Jacen Syndulla is here sitting next to Hera. This is the son of her and Kanan, and he appears human. And it's surprising because in the past we have seen what human and Twi'lek hybrid children look like, and in the Clone Wars, as a matter of fact, and they do have Leku. So they do, you know, have those head tails, and they do appear mostly Twi'lek. Now you could say that, well, it's just a variation, and I think that's kind of what Pablo Hidalgo was alluding to, but I think there's more to it than that, because of the fact that there's just, it's not even close. Like all of the children that we've seen before in Clone Wars all had Leku, and sometimes they were bigger or smaller than others, but dude here doesn't look a thing like what we would expect. And green hair, why is it green hair? Because Kanan had brown hair. And Hera has no hair that we can see. So basically, I'm going to tell you what my theory is, and I'm going to do some things that kind of expand upon my theory. So my theory is basically that some bad stuff happened to Hera. So let's take a look at the last time Kanan and Hera had a chance. It was before Hera even went to try to convince the rebellion. This was early in season 4. So it's been a long time since they've even had an opportunity to potentially go. So what happens since then? Because Hera has been, you have to realize, by the time you find out about this, Hera has been pregnant for a while, a long time, and you know, she wasn't showing yet, but she's definitely pregnant for a while before going on a lot of things. So during the invasion of Lothal, the failed invasion, Hera was ionized. Her X-Wing was hit by ion cannons from the Star Destroyer from the Chimera, and she kind of got thoroughly messed up with that. I mean, who knows what type of impact being fully ionized and having your ship lose all of its shields and what effects that's going to have on the reproductive system of a human and Twi'lek hybrid. That's pretty interesting. Now, that might have had something to do with her system, and especially a newly pregnant Twi'lek female. But I mean, ionization is, you know, a pretty big deal, and it has all kinds of repercussions. It's used to disable a lot of stuff. It might have disabled the Leku, or it might have just changed, like, the hair color molecules. Who knows? But then, after that, plus, not even to mention all the stress of warfare in general that can have disastrous effects on humans, but then she gets shot down. She has to crash land on the surface of Lothal. That's intense trauma, which might have caused some, you know, who knows what type of, you know, so I'm surprised she didn't miscarry. I mean, that's insane how much that goes into that. You're at this point, you're saying maybe you're overthinking it. Well, maybe, but there's some really intense stuff that happens to her even after this. Not only after that, she manages to survive and helps other people, but then she gets just completely assaulted by Rook. She gets, like, brutalized by this guy multiple times in this episode. And now that alone is also really, really significant. I mean, she's not even showing here. Of course, you know, nobody knew. So lots of really bad things are happening to this woman as she's in the early stages of forming this child. Okay, after this, she gets taken prisoner. Fast forward several episodes. I mean, this was in the first half of season 4. This is crazy. So we're going to jump to the second half of season 4. All right, so Governor Price has been torturing her with electrolysis. She's been being electrocuted. If you think that that's going to mean that you have a normal baby, you are dead wrong. This is not healthy for maternity. She's being tortured. I mean, it's not healthy anyway, but specifically shocked multiple times. Not good. Not good for a baby. That would shock the Leku right off of that embryo. So that's not good. But what happens after that? Oh my gosh. So after, being shocked, and we don't even know how long. So let's just talk about this for a little bit. There's a lot of time that's going on between this and when, the Jedi Knight episode where she's rescued. They had to build those, they had to come up with a plan. Kanan cut his hair. They had to build those things. And as far as our time, it was months. But over here, I mean, at least a couple of days. She was being tortured for at least a couple of days. That's incredibly. I mean, think about this for a little bit. That's not good. Here comes one of the bigger ones. Then she gets these psychedelic drugs. Okay, we know that drugs are bad for pregnant mothers. They have all kinds of impacts on the child, and maybe that's why his hair is green. I mean, who I don't understand why. Like, I think, people are okay with this. People are thinking, oh, well, he looks like a happy baby. I'm sorry. No, he's probably a really messed up kid. That's why you don't see him in any of the other movies. That's why he's not one of these ace pilots in The Force Awakens. Probably because. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I feel really bad because he's probably would have had Leku, but that's, I mean, he looks happy. He looks happy to me, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, look at it. He's got like green eyebrows, but this kid does not look even close to being Twi'lek. He looks like 100% human. So could all of these different things, all of this intense trauma, this ionization, getting beaten up multiple times, crash landing, not to mention all the G-force that goes with like flying starfighters and flying through hyperspace. What the heck does hyperspace do to a child? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's where the force comes from. I mean, the fact that this kid even survived, maybe he's going to be, like, incredible. Like, maybe he's just going to be, like, the next, like, Jedi Master or something. I don't know. But being electrocuted multiple times for days and then getting these mind-altering drugs. And then after that being force-pushed, onto the helicopter or the transport. And then the immense trauma of her losing him. And so, like, the depression that she was under on top of everything else. This is really unfortunate. So there's got to be a lot wrong with him. I can't help but think that, like, the fact that they didn't even give him, like, little bumps or even, like, short Leku, because, like, short Leku would have worked. But, again, or do you think maybe I'm just overthinking it and it's just a simple matter of, you know what, they wanted a human actor to be able to play him without having to go through all the prosthesis and makeup and all of that. It's much, much easier to dye somebody's hair green than it is to give them prosthetics and Leku, which necessarily, they can be tricky. I see a lot of people cosplay like as Ahsoka, and a lot of the Leku are like either like Ahsoka is not a Twi'lek, so it's slightly different, but you still have the head tails, right? Or she's a Togruta, but they're just not the easiest things to to do and to make them look really, really good too, especially for movie quality. So if you want to have a main character, probably going to be a little bit easier if they're human, and so that's just really bizarre. But because we've seen it before, we've seen what hybrid children are going to look like in this case, and it just or maybe there was something about the clone DNA that made him not be able to pass on his DNA. So there's all kinds of other little theories out there, but I just thought it was really important to draw some attention on all of the trauma that Hera has gone through while she was carrying Kanan's child. This is a pretty big, I mean, the drugs, the electricity, the ionization, crash landing, getting beat up multiple times by Rook. I mean, anyone else wouldn't have been able to complete that, carry that to term. So, again, also, it's just a cartoon. It's just fiction, and I realize that. We're having fun here. I don't know about fun as is the best word for it, but I like to speculate and look at kind of off-the-wall theories. But I do this with all kinds of things. I will watch, like, other movies. Like, I watched Trolls, because one of my kids would watch Trolls every single day, and after enough viewings, I started to see things that weren't there. Like well, I think Mr. Dinkles suffered from a really serious tragedy in Trolls, because look at their posters on the wall. Like, Mr. Dinkles had sent out wedding invites to Branch, but then Mr. Dinkles is not with his wife. He's with some troll. What happened to his wife? You know, like, there's a story there, and like, it makes me wonder, you know, what did this troll do to Mr. Dinkles' wife? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Back to Jacen Syndulla. You know, I think he got just hit by one too many bolts of electricity, and a combination of the drugs and the ionization. Like, swapped his Leku for green hair and made his skin kind of human. I think it zapped all of the Twi'lek DNA right out of him. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. I am running another round of the giveaway right now, so if you'd like to win a gaming expansion in the form of a cool stuff $20 gift card, the only thing you need to do is to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think it's a little bit too off the wall or whatever, let me know either way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.